Have you ever walked down the vitamin aisle or scrolled through the list of supplements and nutrients available to you online and wondered, what on earth do I start with? What does my body actually need and why? Well, stick with me because we're going to be talking about that today. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Heather, and welcome back to Dr. Heather's Dispensary. Today's workshop that I want to do with you is about nutritional supplements. What are the basic supplements that everyone could and should be taking? Now, from a chiropractic standpoint, the way we approach sickness and disease and even health and wellness is that we want to make sure that all of the body systems are being fed properly. So there's good nutrition, the spine and nervous system is functioning properly, there's good exercise levels, how's your mental health. We want to put that picture all in order and then see how the body responds to it. So today we're going to talk about just one aspect of that, which is going to be nutritional supplements. Do we all need them? To start in consideration of if we need nutritional supplementation, we have to start by looking at our farming practices and our soil quality. It can be a well-known fact that with industrialized farming now, we're trying to grow things faster and bigger and on the same soil over and over and over again. So the nutrients that are in the soil are depleted because we're trying to harvest things sooner. The food isn't getting the opportunity to soak up all of the nutrients that it should be from the soil. And the soil has been used for crops over and over again, so there aren't as many nutrients in the soil. On top of that, we now will pick things before they're ripened and ship them very long distances. And although they've tried to find optimal temperatures, after something has been picked, the nutrient value in it continues to decline. So the sooner you eat something after it's been picked from the earth, the better quality you're actually getting. Now, there were some studies done. There's one in the December 2004 issue of the Journal of the American College of Nutrition, where they took USDA nutrient data from the 1950s and they compared it to nutrient data in 1999. They compared 43 different types of foods and 13 different nutrients, and they actually saw declines in protein, calcium, phosphorus. Of course, those things all give us strong bones, strong teeth, good immune function, nerve function. They noticed lower iron levels. Iron carries oxygen through the body. Lower riboflavin, which helps us metabolize or process fats and drugs, which, as medications go up, we want to be able to metabolize them and clear them out of our system when we don't need them any longer. And they saw lower vitamin C, which, of course, vitamin C is for growth and repair of tissues in our body. It's also very important for immune function. Everybody knows as we get sick, the first thing we reach for is the vitamin C, right? Now, a 2020 research study in the Scientific Report agreed with these findings, as did a 2022 research article in the journal Foods. And they also found that manganese and zinc and magnesium were declining. Some of these nutrients were declining as much as 50% in the food. On top of that, our livestock is feeding off of this. So if you do enjoy eating meat, and there's a lot of very good fatty acids in meat that we want to be able to have, but if you do enjoy eating meat, where they're getting their nutrients, the cows, goats, chickens, is from the grain that we're feeding them, from the grass that they're eating, and it is also depleted. So even our meats are not going to carry the nutrients that they once did. We also have the standard American diet, and most of us understand that our diet now is quite richly laden with processed foods and sugared foods. So we're not all eating the fresh fruits and vegetables, shopping the outer rims of the grocery store, as it would be. We're not getting as much of that. In fact, where they may recommend 5 to 8 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Even if you're getting those 5 to 8 servings, because of the nutrient depletion in them, you really need to be having twice that in order to be getting the nutrients that we need to have in our body. So because of that, who cares, right? Does it really matter? I mean, I have a son who could live off of pizza, hot dogs, and potato chips. So does it really matter? Well, at his age, he doesn't notice all that much and his body can keep going. But in the long term, is this going to be good for him? No, because without those nutrients, our body starts to deplete from the stores and we start to have more chronic illnesses and cancers and inflammations and arthritis types of things. We see dementia. We see so many things that can be related to the food, the nutrient that we're taking in. So because of this, my first recommendation, the top thing, if you do nothing else, my top recommendation is for a multivitamin. Everyone should be taking some form of multivitamin. Now, a quality multivitamin is going to have a full range of vitamins and minerals in it, but it's also not going to be loaded with fillers, dyes, colorings, synthetic forms of vitamins that are not absorbable. If you have questions about this, take a look at the video on supplement quality, and we talk in that video on how to actually read a supplement label and see what's in there and check that out. But it is very important to have a multivitamin that does not have all of those extra things. It decreases the potency of the vitamin and you end up having to take so much more of it. Also, we see people reacting to the vitamins because there's things in them that actually aren't absorbed by your body and can cause a problem. So you want to make sure that when you're taking that multivitamin, you actually will save money by taking something that is good quality and a high potency. You're going to be healthier because of it, need less of the vitamin itself. So that's top recommendation. My next recommendation, after you've got a good multivitamin in place, is an omega-3 fatty acid. Now, most of us don't eat a whole lot of fish anymore, and even if we did, we'd have to eat an awful lot of fish to get what we need. We can also get that omega-3s and omega-6s through healthy beef. Grass-fed beef is very good for that as well. But it's also helpful to supplement because, again, we already talked about how our food supply is depleted of a lot of these things. Now, omega-3 fatty acids are a key part in the structure of the membrane of your cell. And that's extremely important because we need to have healthy cells that are replicating properly. Cancer is actually from cells that are replicating that are not replicating properly. So where you should have a skin cell, you're getting a liver cell, or things are not, they're not growing properly. Omega-3 fatty acids are also a starting point for hormones that will regulate blood clotting, the contraction and relaxation of your artery walls, and inflammation. So they're actually very important for your blood vessel health, which is very important because it will lower heart disease risk and get your body healthier that way. It supports healthy joints. It will reduce inflammation so that it'll help with arthritis types of issues, rheumatoid arthritis and joint tenderness. It can also improve brain function, including thinking and memory. And I'll be honest, we have found this. We have one son that is dyslexic and all of the things that come along with that. And we have found that when he is taking his omega-3s daily, it is actually easier for him to think more clearly. He is calmer and he's able to focus a little bit better. So we have found that that is an absolute, like, first thing in the morning, did you take those omega-3s? So they're extremely important. Omega-3s are also absorbed best when they're taken with food. So that's not something that you necessarily need to take on its own. You can take it with your meal. And we love the Barlean's fish oil. I'll put a link down below for that through the dispensary. They're a great price actually on the dispensary, which I love. And when they're delivered, they're at the right temperature, which is wonderful too. But they taste really good. And so the kids love to have them. And honestly, it feels kind of like dessert. So I like to eat them too. The NIH, the National Institute for Health, recommends that adults get about 1 gram a day of fatty acids for maintenance. So if you're looking for something that's going to help you to overcome health issues, depression, anxiety issues, that kind of thing that omegas can help with, you need to be taking about 3 grams a day. And so you need to look for a quality supplement that's got good potency, that is also certified to be very low in heavy metals and toxins, because especially fish can contain lead, cadmium, arsenic, mercury, and these are heavy metals. They're toxins that can actually cross the blood-brain barrier, so you do not want to be taking those. You want to get your omega-3s from a very good source. So now that we have our multivitamin in place to help with any nutritional gaps, we have got our omega-3 in place to help with circulatory system, brain function, keeping our body healthy. The third thing that I highly recommend is a probiotic. We're seeing and hearing more and more information today about gut health and its importance in our overall health. And there is a very good reason for that. Because of our poor diets and exposure to different environmental toxins that we have more and more of, our increased use of drugs and medications, it's actually messing with our intestinal flora. And that is the natural bacterial balance that we should have in our gut. Now, I don't know about you, but even at my young age, I like to tell everyone I'm still 29, but I'm not. But even at my age, I still remember a time where food intolerances didn't exist. For someone to come into school and say they were gluten-free, needed to be gluten-free, that was absolutely unheard of. So there have been a lot of gut-related changes even in the last 30 years. When we have an imbalance in the bacteria in our gut, it can affect our body's ability to absorb the other nutrients that we're taking. So taking a probiotic is going to make your multivitamin and your omega-3 more effective because you're going to be able to absorb it better. But also rebuilding our gut and having a healthy microbial balance with a good probiotic is life-changing. It's immune boosting, chronic disease busting, stress, sleep, and anxiety helping. Our gut can lead to all of those issues. According to a 2019 study in the Journal of Microbiology and Biotechnology, the probiotics themselves are actually antimicrobial, they're anti-carcinogenic, and anti-inflammatory. That means they get rid of bad bacteria, they will kill cancers, and they will decrease inflammation. This is huge for the chronic illnesses that we see in our society today. But all probiotics are not created equal. This is very important. Probiotics are alive, and as such, they need to be kept properly under certain conditions in order for them to still be effective once you get them in a supplement form. Some strains of probiotic are superior to other strains. I have my personal favorites, and the reason that I love them, the things that are important to me, is first of all, there's hundreds of research articles to support the Megaspore biotic, which is one of my personal favorites. It actually backs up the effectiveness in many different disease types of issues, as well as just maintaining, rebuilding a healthy gut. Second, they're so effective that you can't jump right into a full dose. That I find very encouraging. The fact that you have to start by taking one every second day for a week and then try to increase to daily and just listen to your body. If you start getting some abdominal cramping or discomfort, it's too much for your system because the probiotic is actually working. So if that happens, go back to every second day, taking your time, letting your gut strengthen and rebuild and letting the microbiome in there balance, and then start to increase back to getting to once a day for maintenance. The other thing that I love about the form that Megaspore uses is that it's encapsulated in such a way that it makes it through your stomach acid, so you're actually getting the probiotic in the part of your body that needs it. It's not being killed off before it gets there. It also has a very nice shelf life, which I appreciate, although if you keep up with taking your supplements, you will continue to go through them on a regular basis. However, it's very good to know that you can buy some in advance, pop them on the shelf, and they're still going to be good in the future. The next key nutrient that has become very important for us is vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is what we call a fat-soluble vitamin. And what that means is if you take vitamin D and you take too much of it, the extra actually gets stored into your fat. Where this can be a problem is because you're not just peeing it out like a water-soluble vitamin would, like vitamin C or vitamin B. Because you're not doing that, if you're not watching your vitamin D levels, you can become toxic. The good news is most of us are so deficient that as long as we're taking a regular dose of that vitamin D, toxicity is very rare and it's not a common thing. You can have a blood test done for vitamin D. In fact, here in the Northeast of the United States, we have a company called Quest Diagnostics, and anyone can actually go into Quest and order a vitamin D blood test and have that done. So you don't even have to have a medical doctor order that test for you. But you can do that through your medical doctor as well, so that they can monitor and watch those vitamin D levels if it's something that you're concerned about. Vitamin D helps our body absorb calcium. So ladies, for those of you who are getting older and concerned about that bone density, vitamin D is key. It's a key component in making sure that you're absorbing the calcium that you're taking. Vitamin D also helps our immune system to fight off viruses and bacteria, so it's very important. It's required for muscle and nerve function as well. According to a 2018 study in the New York Academy of Sciences, they estimate that a vitamin D deficiency may be globally widespread, like everywhere. Even in sunny areas like Arizona, they're finding that people are deficient in vitamin D. According to a review of almost 150 studies that were published in January of 2020 in the Indian Journal of Psychiatry, the evidence also clearly suggests a relationship between vitamin D and depression. So it's very important for us to have that basic nutrient. It's especially needed if you do not regularly consume dairy products that are fortified with vitamin D, if you don't get much exposure to sunlight, if you are over the age of 50, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, nursing. Darker skinned people actually have more melanin, and they may actually need higher levels of vitamin D because melanin affects vitamin D absorption. That was actually a very interesting fact that I discovered while I was researching for this workshop, and I was pretty surprised at that, but I thought I'd share it with you anyways. So really, the major, most important basics would be a multivitamin, an omega-3, a probiotic, and a vitamin D. Now, for women between the ages of 19 and 50, those who are pregnant and breastfeeding, women that might experience higher levels of stress or anxiety, I would recommend a vitamin B. Now, vitamin B is water soluble, so you will just pee out what you don't need, and that's what gives you that bright yellow urine. You'll know that your body is processing it after you take it. But vitamin B is very important for red blood cell production, your energy levels, metabolizing your protein. It's very important for your nervous system, very important for developing your mind. very important for your immune system. So the vitamin B complex, I'm not breaking it down into individual vitamins at this point, but the B complex is going to affect all of those things. Vitamin B will also significantly lower anxiety levels. So if you have a lot of stress in your life, taking B vitamins regularly is just a wonderful addition to help your body to manage those stress levels. As we get older, we don't absorb things quite as easily as we do when we're younger. And so it's very important to supplement just to help our body to have those things. So now you know the basics. Multivitamin, omega-3, probiotic, vitamin D, and ladies, a vitamin B complex is a wonderful help to add to that. Once you have all of those basics in place, give your body some time to start to respond to that and start to replenish itself. If you've taken some vitamins for 2 or 3 days and go, I don't notice a difference. If you've been deficient, you have to fill those stores back up. You've got to give your body time to use those vitamins and to incorporate them back in where they've been missing. So watch the video on supplement quality so that you know that what you're taking is the best quality vitamins and minerals and nutrients for your body at a good potency. If you're curious, what would I take? I would not go to Walmart, Amazon, Target. I wouldn't go to those big stores to purchase my vitamins. I like to purchase them right from the source to make sure that I'm getting what's on the bottle, I'm getting good quality with no fillers, and I'm getting something that's going to be a high potency. So I'm getting the vitamins that I'm paying for and that I want for my body. So to make this easy for you, because my goal is to make healthy living easy for you, and you can go in there and look under community plans, and you'll see I've created some plans. One of them is called Basics for Adults and Basics for Children. And in that, I have put my favorite basics that we use in our house. Otherwise, feel free to research in the catalog and look for companies that you really like to get vitamins from. You can save time and money and make sure that you're getting the best quality by clicking the link below, opening a free account through Dr. Heather's Dispensary. Also, take a moment and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos that are coming out, because you just never know what's coming up next. My goal is to help you make healthy living easy.